Trading Forex and working 9 to 5, not always the most easy thing, but for me, fortunately, I work on roofs, so I get a bit more freedom, I would say, to actually focus and do what I need to do. Obviously not the case for everyone, so I'm very fortunate, and this is the way that I'm doing things. I set my alarms, I wait for, say there's a setup at 2 p.m. on GU, well then I'll start looking for the trades. Then once my alarm's gone off, the alarm's there to remind me I've got a trade to take. So that's the way that I'm working things, and I'm going to make it happen. It works. You just need to set a plan and a process how you can do it too. Whether you can only trade in the morning before work, well then you trade in the morning before work. That's it. You trade once a day. If there's no setup, that's it. So you need to work this out for yourself. What works, what's not going to work, and just go with that. And when you're going at it, just go at it with ultimate commitment, complete commitment, and just get the job done. What a day today could have been. It was, it was a bit of a wild roller coaster, really. Not in terms of my emotions, but the markets. There's been some big moves overall, and we could have caught some great trades. And this was the first trade which I looked at this morning, and I'll just break this one down for you. I did post this on my YouTube community, but this was a really beautiful trade. And again, it was a trade which, it didn't quite seem like I should take it for whatever reason that may be. I just had it in my mind, maybe I shouldn't take this trade. I'll just flip it over to this next chart, just so it's a little bit clearer. Things should be the same. So this morning, there was a potential trade from here, but I just didn't like the look of this. So I thought, I'm going to wait patient. I'm going to wait for the 6 a.m. till 10 a.m. candle to close. Now, when I come to the charts this morning, this is what I was seeing. This is, of course, at 10 o'clock. This is what I was seeing. You can see the market's been pushing nicely to the downside. I'll just flip back over there to the 4 hour. So I could see that the bearish momentum was back in the market. We're at this choppy little area. There's been a lot of resistance here. So this is the area which we've pushed into. I thought we're taking the trade anyway because it's in line with the plan. It felt right to take it, but I was, getting that apprehensive feeling of should I or should I not. So with that being said, I set up how I take my trades. We mark out the final candle and the close of that candle, which represents the 4 hour candle close. So if I show you this now, this is representing, it's not quite on there, but the close of this 4 hour candle. So I want to see a wick created on new 4H. So we'll show that, and on the 5 minute now, we want to see the wick created, and then we want to see momentum stepping back into the market and breaking and pushing bearish. So with that being said, this is how the trade went. Now, I didn't get into it at this point because something told me, even though we've created the wick now on the 4H, because anything above this line was that wick being created. So I didn't get into it. I was waiting patient. What I wanted to see was, of course, you could see there that price has pushed up. We've created this wick here. But I just wanted to see price just pull back again a little bit more. So you would have got triggered in here if you'd have got in with this. If you'd have got in with your sell stop here, you'd have had your stop loss above there. You'd have got triggered in there. Excuse me. You'd have got triggered in, and you'd be sitting in drawdown at this point. But I was waiting. I didn't want to get in too early. So I could see price pushing back into this area. Bit of resistance coming out of this wick zone, and I then set my sell stop, and I actually put my stop loss above this structure here because I wanted to put it above this wick. It just felt right. It felt like the safe option. So let's have a look. I don't think it actually got triggered in off this, but I did get triggered in off that. So this was then the trade. We was in it. Was going for our 1 to 2, and I'll just show you that quick. I don't want to spend too long on this, but we pushed down nicely. I just get that 1 to 2. We pushed down nicely, and it was a really nice trade. And many times I thought about closing it because of that dodgy little area that we was in, and was it here? I must have got tapped out there. I must have. Yeah. So we was pushing nicely, and I thought many times about closing here simply because of all that resistance that I was showing you before. So anyway, I thought we'll let it ride, win or break even, whichever it was. So go break even at 1 to 2. Would have got tapped out at that. So we let that candle play out, and I come to the markets again a bit later on, 10 till 2 o'clock candle, and I seen this bullish momentum stepping in. Now you might be thinking, well, you just sold the market and now you're buying it. But the thing is, what this tells me, if we're failing to make another bearish candle here, then it tells me that price is actually bouncing off this area of support, which we was talking about. So the sellers clearly aren't in control anymore. We've tried pushing down, which you can see there, this candle, the wick there. So that was us and our trade. And we was hoping for the trade basically to push down further, the more sellers in the market. But clearly the sellers aren't strong enough and the buyers are in, and we're bouncing off this area of support here, and we're looking for price to then go long, because the buyers are clearly in the market. We're in a key area of support. Of course, I was selling into this area of support, but the thing is, the sellers were in the market at that time, and there was a high chance that we would continue back down to these lows. Nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. So when this next trade come about, I missed it. I just missed it. I was bloody on the roof, as you just seen there, and it was a real shame because I was just drying out some outlet of a gutter, and I was busy, and I thought, oh, I just come back to it, and it'd gone, and it was a real shame. Anyway, the chance, it would have been stopped out at break even anyway. So it's just one of them things. But I'll just show you dead quick, and I'll just show you how we repeat this process again and again and again. And here's another trade which I could have took on gold, but at this point I thought I just didn't want to be getting into it too much for the day. I'd done enough trading, and that was me done. So I've just jumped onto the 1 minute time frame here because the 5 minute structure wasn't particularly clear. But what I could see is when price started to pull back, we started to pull back into this area, which if I go onto the 1 minute time frame, you will see it is a higher low. A higher low in this uptrend that we've started creating. So all this information is that 4 hour candle. All this information is that 4 hour candle all the way from here. So all of this is one 4 hour candle. So when you start breaking it down, there's a lot of information just within one candle, which you could be trading if you wanted to. So getting back to it, the 1 minute time frame, you'd have seen price pushing down here into this key area of support. What I was intending on doing was getting my buy stop here to be triggered in on the flip of this new 4H candle flipping bullish, and it would have been here actually on the instant flip. So we'd have had a 7.5 pip stop loss around that. Let's just call it 8 pip stop loss, and would have been going for our 1 to 2. It would have been a beautiful trade, and I'll show you now the momentum just coming to the market nicely, dead fast. It would have been beautiful. But I just looked at the charts as this candle had come and closed, and I thought, well, it's too late now, and I just had to sit there and watch it and complain to the guy that I work with. And yeah, it would have been it would have been a beauty. In fact, we wouldn't have even got stopped out at break even. We would have hit TP on that one, in and out. You'd have been out of this in no time, and it'd have been a real beautiful trade. I mean, what a shame it was that I didn't take that. And again, that is just the same process. It's the same process again and again and again. Rinse and repeat. Get your strategy, nail that, nail it on one pair, nail it on two pairs. As long as, for me, I'm trading my strategy in line with the directional bias, which is something that isn't the easiest, because the market can change direction within 1 4-hour candle. All you need is one more 4-hour candle and the directional bias is completely different. And, you know, I'm waffling now, but I have a beautiful strategy which I can rinse and repeat. If you want me to teach you this on the chart, well, just watch my YouTube videos. I'm not going to teach you it. I'll show you how I do things, how I trade, my mindset, and everything else behind it. I was going to do another, in fact, we'll show you gold. This trade on gold, which you could have got in today if you wanted to get into this trade too. So we'd have come to the charts. Let's just wind this on a little bit. I didn't want to bother. I couldn't be bothered. I probably should have been bothered, but I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. So here you can see strong 4H momentum coming into the market. We're breaking out. The buys are clearly there. What I want to see now is a wick being created on the new 4H. So we want to see a pullback like so, creating a wick, and then we want to get triggered in on momentum as price starts pushing bullish. The new 4H starts pushing bullish. So this would have been the trade. You'd have been waiting. So now the wick's being created on the 4H. Wick's being created. Should make this a bit clearer. So at this point, you'd be thinking, right, we have a key area of support here, which you'd definitely be able to see on the 1 minute time frame. Key area of support, higher low. All right. You'd be anticipating for price to push into this area. And then you'd be looking for rejections, bullish momentum to step back in, and then you'd be setting your buy stop. So at this point, you'd be seeing bullish momentum stepping in, you're getting wicks, you want to set your buy stop, get ready, get into the trade with momentum. So you'd have been triggered in on that one, and price would have pulled back, so you'd have been in a bit of drawdown, but that's fine. As long as your stop loss is in a safe place, you've got no problems. And this would have been the trade. And let me just wind this on. Let's go for the 1 to 2. So that's the 1 to 2. This would have been the trade. You'd have just missed your TP there. I think personally, if this was me, I'd have been closing at this point, especially if it had pushed up there to, like, nearly 3 times. Go to that. Just take your profits. And look, it would have been a beautiful trade. That could have been, anyway, what could have been is gone. So they're 3 trades that I could have took today. I only took one, and I missed one for good reason. I was just working. This one, I thought I've had enough for the day. That's fine. No, that's it. No more. It's getting late. So take care, everyone. Hope you enjoyed that one. We'll be back tomorrow with more trading videos. Hopefully we get some bangers. Cheers, everyone. Bye bye.